Welcome everybody. Let's take a look at the market. Let's start with the Dow Jones Transportation, the daily chart here. We can see the Dow Jones has absolutely gone into blast off mode. Transportation is ripping. So this is a huge momentum swing upward. You can just see this thing. It absolutely has crushed the previous cycle high. It surpassed the previous little cycle there's high. Let's see, where are we at here? And it looks like it surpassed even, this high over here. So this is a very bullish occurrence at the moment. Okay, so that's the Dow Jones Transportation. Went from being one of the weakest to one of the strongest. We're going to see a theme here in just a moment. Let's go to Russell 2000. Russell 2000, what do you know? Blast off mode. These are all daily charts. Blast off. Trying to think, that's all-time high. It may be. Let me go put in the time frame. Max. Are we at all-time highs? No, apparently we're not. I guess 2021 was. Let me go back here a little more. Yeah. So 2021 was all-time high, but we're kind of creeping up on it. It's 24.58. We're okay. We're 200 points away from that, approximately, a little less. It could get there. So huge momentum swing going on the Russell 2000 as well. So both the Dow Jones Transportation and the Russell 2000, which were just weak, they were weak, performing weak, poorly, I should say, like a week ago, have now gone into blast-off mode. Okay, let's switch back to daily charts here, and there you go. This thing is on a monster mash ripper. Okay, and this cycle way out here is September 23rd. So I'll tell you what, let's take care of that right now. Bump this time axis up 100 so we can get to the right here. We'll put here. And that low makes sense, doesn't it? Just looking at these cycles, it makes sense for it to put it right there, doesn't it? Because look at this. There's was a low here. There's clearly a low that came down right in approximately in that area, and then it just absolutely ripped, right? Okay, so we're done doing the old cycle low, the 23rd of September. We'll go ahead and do this right now. September 23, and hit it. So there you go. That'll be on the charts moving forward. All right, so that's that. Okay, now that we know that the Dow Jones Transportation and the Russell 2000, which I like to look at those a lot of times to forecast what the market may do, the other indexes may do, or indices may do. Let's see what the S&P 500 futures are doing. So far we see a theme here, right? The Dow Jones Transportation and the Russell 2000 are both absolutely ripping. Okay, let's take a look at this S&P 500. What do you know? All-time highs to the S&P 500. What a shocker. Okay, so the sense I get is things feel kind of, I don't want to say a blow off top, but I'm gonna show gold here in a moment. But things feel very, how do I put this? Very artificially pumped up. Like everything's on the nines right now. Everything's just like it's like walking into your bedroom. You're gonna turn on the stereo when you're young, and you want to play some loud music, and you don't just turn it up to like 5 or 6, which is loud. No, you crank that sucker to 10. The walls are shaking. It's really not sustainable till somebody comes banging on your door to tell you to pipe down, right? Yeah. So that's just my instincts tell me that as much heat as I'm seeing across all the markets is, I just don't think it's sustainable. Now, how long will this last? Well, we can see there's August 22nd out here for this S&P 500 futures. There is a little dip here right in the middle of this cycle, which would be about August 5th, and then there's some cycles way out here like October, November during the election time that there could be a really big pullback. But yeah, the market feels very overheated right now. I shouldn't say the market, the markets, plural. Right? Let's take a look at gold for a second. So far, we've looked at the Dow Jones Transportation. We've looked at the Russell 2000. We've looked at S&P 500, all of them are either at all-time highs or doggone close to it, right? I think the Russell 2000 is the only one that's not at all-time high. The Dow Jones Transportation, I probably should go back and look. It may not be at all-time high either, but it's certainly at if it isn't near at all-time high, it's doggone close to it. So now let's look at gold. We're gonna look at gold futures here. What's going on with gold? Oh, what do you know? 24.74. Let me switch to the daily cycles over here. Oh, look at that. It's 24.70. Oh, yeah. Okay. Gold also at the all-time high. So it's just across the board, right? Everything is in fever pitch, on fire mode, right? So it's all on fire. So let's go do the same thing we did with the Russell 2000. We're gonna pump this up to maximum. Okay, I don't want to look at year. Yeah, maximum. There we go. Okay, gold. All right. I don't know if, oh, there it is. Okay, 24.74 is it. Do we ever get above that? Do we ever get above? We're basically sitting right below 2,500. Let's see. Does it ever get above that? I don't think so. This is scaling, so I got to kind of keep an eye on it, but I'm just going back throughout history here. I don't think we've ever seen gold this high before. 1300s, 1700s, 1800, 19. No, we're way back here, like in the year 2004. Okay. Yeah, gold. It might be something back in the 1990s that was really high. No. 500. Right, so the best I can tell, going all the way back to 1975, at least on this data, gold has never been higher than it is right now. Okay, so gold's an all-time high. I guess I could have made it easy on myself just in the monthly chart. Right, we could have just done, let's see, monthly max. Yeah, there you go. 24.74, and yeah, that's it. So gold also all-time high, right? Russell 2000. We'll keep in the monthly chart here. All-time high. Well, okay, not all-time high, but really close to it. Okay, Dow Jones Transportation. Yeah, all-time high. Well, there's one at, okay, that's no 180. Nowhere near it. We're way over here in the thousands here. Yeah, all-time high in the Dow Jones Transportation, or, you know, coming up on it, right? Coming up on it. We know the S&P 500 is all-time high. The Russell 2000 is near all-time high. The Dow Jones Transportation is at or approximately almost at all-time high. I bet the DJI, which is the Dow Jones Industrial, if it's not at all-time high, it's close. What do you know? All-time high. Okay, that's why it's got it up there like that, right? And then lastly, we could look at something like I was going to look at. Let's see, if one thing I wanted to look at. Yeah, I'm sure the Nasdaq is sitting up there too. We'll just take a look at the Nasdaq. Yep, all-time high. So anyway, gold's at all-time high. All the markets are at all-time highs, or right up against all-time highs. I mean, everything, right? It isn't just one thing. It isn't like, okay, you got the little Russell 2000, the little stocks are hurting, but the other indices are good, or vice versa. No. All the stock indices are in blast off at all-time highs or thereabouts. Gold is at all-time high. Okay, you got the same thing with the I think the Dow Jones is what, top 30 stocks? They have 30 stocks, I think. Top 30 huge stocks, blue chips, whatever they are. It's at all-time highs. Transportation is at all-time highs. So everything is absolutely on fire. And that tells me that this economy is extremely overheated. And I've been saying this for the last few months. Everything that I'm looking at feels like a runaway economy. and it's completely out of control. We have high inflation. I think it's only going to get worse. And I think the market is going to absolutely have a huge collapse. I don't know exactly when. Like I said the other day, I think from the year 2026 down to 2033, I think those years, the U.S. is an extremely vulnerable nation for the financial markets and the economy. I think you're going to see 20, 30, 40, 50% decline in the market. Something massive is going to happen. I just don't think this is sustainable. Let's go back to the S&P 500. I want to look at the weekly chart. I just want to look at the momentum there because that's, momentum has gone up even a little more. It's at about 206, which is also an all-time high. Okay. And I could probably put another support in here. It's right around 5,500. It's like right there. It's really obvious, right? We hit this gap up. Which, if you look at futures, you don't, in the indexes, the daily indices, you do get gaps. That's common. But in futures, you don't get them too often. You got one way over here, right at the end of at the end of 2023. You got one over here, like, about May or June of 2023, right? You don't get gaps very often as contracts roll from one to the next. They're usually just kind of continuous and they're connected. Okay, but you see one there, and one here. And it's all bullish, at least on this chart up to this point for the last few years. So really, really on fire. And I believe it's a problem. It's a problem that America is going to have to deal with. And I don't think that there's some easy solution, easy way out. The United States right now today, as far as financially, is a banana republic. It may not be a banana republic in some other ways, like, the assassination of Donald Trump, the attempted assassination of Donald Trump, that's banana republic for sure, right? Not that we haven't had assassination attempts before. There was Abraham Lincoln and JFK and Ronald Reagan, right? So there was 3 other presidents. There may be 1 or 2 others I'm not aware of, but those are the 3 that really stand out in my mind, right? That were assassination attempts on their lives, and now we got Donald Trump. So the left's working real hard to take out Donald Trump. No surprise there. This is what they do. The globalists, leftists, whatever. They've been stoking this fire for the last 8 to 10 years on him, and I think they'll do anything, including assassinating him, to get rid of him. But I honestly believe God spared his life, and I think America, in that regard, as far as the presidency goes, who knows? Maybe there's light at the end of the tunnel. I'm sure there's a lot of people, some people on the left that listen to this video. I'm gonna tell you straight up, I have no respect for you, and I don't care if you don't like me at all. That's exactly where I'm at with people on the left. I have no respect for anybody on the left. After what happened for the last 8 years, and then now it's culminating in an assassination attempt. And I don't want to hear any bull crap about how I was a Lone Ranger, blah, blah, blah. That's all just decoy crap from the corrupt media. So that's my take on the whole assassination thing. I think that's been brewing for so long. And when they couldn't get him through lawfare, they decided to go the hardcore route by trying to murder him. As far as the markets go, I think financially speaking, like economically speaking, for the United States of America, long term, I think it's currently banana republic. It already is. The dollar in your pocket isn't worth the paper it's printed on. Now, freedoms in America are still kind of there, right? There's been some major Supreme Court rulings and some things that have favored more of a conservative lean. So there's things there that's, pushing back against the whole wokeism and the whole lawfare and all this stuff that's been going on, and the Marxist tendency that's been going on for quite a while. You guys like George Soros and others who are using their billions to, buy attorney generals and district attorneys and do all this crap. the Supreme Court's, at least doing a little bit of something there to put the brakes on it. But it's going to be all of it really comes down to the American people. You got some people like the J6 prisoners, the political prisoners. Very few, if any, of the J6 protesters were actually armed. Like if you look at all the videos are, I encourage you to go look at the videos. The videos are readily available. Just go look at the J6 videos. You're not going to see anybody carrying firearms. Like nobody, only people carrying firearms is Capitol Police and whatever. But, if that was supposed to be a insurrection, what were they going to do with spitballs and I don't know, knives and sticks and stones? I mean, it's absurd to assume that unarmed people were going to overtake the U.S. government. It's beyond absurd. And my whole point about all that is that you have all these J6ers that have been sitting in prison, a lot of them, for indefinite period of time. Like, just think about that. They've been in there for years. And they had no trial by jury, which that's their constitutional right, is to have a trial by jury. They don't have any trial by jury. They just get this woke, hardcore leftist, processing judges that just basically, don't give them the time of day and just whatever. If somebody commits a crime in the United States, I'm okay with them having to go to court and go through the due process. And if the jury finds them guilty and they really committed a crime, okay, they have to pay the price. But to not even give these guys a trial, a jury trial, that's just like horrible. So I have no respect for anybody on the left. I don't care about the left. I think they should be punished severely. And that's my take on it. I think the gloves have to come off and the left has to be dealt with very strongly. That's my personal opinion. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people who don't agree with me and don't like this video. Guess what? I do not care. I'm serious to the point where I don't think it even matters anymore. I don't care what the left thinks. Y'all can go watch your CNN. So let's get to the chart about the intraday charts. Let's see where were the trades of the day. Okay, a couple ways you could do this. On the 15-minute chart, there's one way you could have traded. You get this signal right here. You got to wait about an hour on this one. It was still bottoming. Once it got done bottoming and started making the big turn, it gets above the zero line, you're in. And for most of the day, it's just absolutely stomping, making huge profits. So there's 10, 20, approximately 30 points worth of profits right here, just on the 15-minute chart. So that's pretty huge. Massive profits right there. And then, of course, you use, a lot of times you'll get this like mid-morning low, right? You'll get this little pullback going to like 11 o'clock, and then it'll re-engage. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But today it did and took off again and went all to all-time highs. Now take a look at the momentum down here. You see how the momentum's, even though we got the dip momentum and then it turned back up and never came down to the zero line here on the 15-minute chart. So that's very bullish. And you can see this pattern over and over again. Now the SMI did come down and touch, started to go up, but you can tell momentum just stayed positive here, right? It stayed way above the zero line. So if you wanted to re-engage up in here, you could. Down in here and take this extra little profit, you could. But if this is all you did for the day, huge money, $1,500 on one contract, absolute another huge profitable day. Let's look at the 5-minute chart real quick. And then here on the 5-minute chart for the futures, you can see way over here, this is late last or super early in the morning, about 4:45 a.m. my time here in Texas. You had this signal that came in right here. This was a sweet signal. These are the kind of signals you want. Look at this. Here's the bottom line. The SMI doesn't reach the bottom. This is kind of London market stuff going on right here. And they take it and run with it. And bam, you're just in the trade. Momentum starts going positive. This SMI never reaches the bottom. It goes nice and strong. That was a good solid 5 points. It tracked sideways and just kept going all the way up to 57.05. So we went from, get my bearings straight here, 85 to 05, 20 points. So here was 20 points on the 5-minute chart. This run all the way up to here. See, look how bullish this is. See how the SMI never gets down to the bottom line? And the momentum stays above the zero line the whole time. Very bullish. Okay, if you didn't get the chance to get in way back then because you're taking some snoozes at 4:45 in the morning, look at this next one, 11:35 a.m. Look at this. The SMI doesn't even come down. It doesn't come down and touch. Right? It starts to curl back up. Boom. That is so bullish. It's crazy. It does its thing. It comes down. It doesn't touch again. Almost touches, but doesn't touch, and takes off. Right? From 5,700 to 5,720. It's another 20 points pretty easily, maybe a little more. So just right there, you got 40 points, depending on if you're awake and what you're doing, where you're at in the world. Okay. So 30 points on the 15-minute chart, at least 20 on the 5-minute chart, or 40 if you're like, doing a marathon here. Super awesome. Lots of profitability. If you want to become a member, there's a link in the description below this video. There's also one as a top comment. I'm not sure I'm gonna stay on YouTube. YouTube, I'm kind of back and forth. Google and YouTube are like, they heavily have a heavy censorship. They have selective censorship. It's just so, it hasn't changed. If anything, it's gotten worse. So I mean, I have a channel on Rumble. For now, I'm going to continue to post on YouTube and Rumble. I've kind of been back and forth this YouTube thing. I really don't like their platform. I don't like them at all. They're super hard left, woke crap. I'm so fed up with the whole left and all their bullshit. But yeah, if push comes to shove and I have to move all my content over to Rumble moving forward, I will. It doesn't bother me. I don't really care about Google and YouTube selective, censorship policies. Left is good and right is bad crap. As I said earlier in this video, I think conservatives need to grow a pair. And after the assassination attempt on Donald Trump and all the crap they've been doing, I think the gloves have to come off. It's going to be very interesting to see who Donald Trump picks as the U.S. Attorney General. I really hope they don't softball this and just let bygones be bygones, because all that's going to do is enable the left and the Marxists and the globalists to do the same thing all over again. If it isn't during Trump's 4 years, it'll be the next conservative president that gets into the White House. They'll just repeat the process. This is just what these people do. When they don't get their way, they use anger and violence and even assassination and murder to accomplish a goal. And that is to control people and control national resources and on and on and on. And that is the honest truth. And I don't give a crap what the media says or doesn't say, because I think 99% of the media is full of shit. CNN, CBS, all of them, CNB, even Fox News, all of them. They're just so full of crap. It's ridiculous. All right, that's it. Happy trading, everybody. God bless everybody. Again, if you want to join, just get the link. There's streaming charts in there for members. You saw today on the Get Us Plus indicator how you can make some decent profit with the service. There's also streaming charts for gold. So when you join the Discord server, you can ask me about that. There's a nightly email that goes out every night. There's 5 different charts to get attached to the email. So you're going to really like that. There's 3 2-hour directional charts in the email. And then there's a couple S&P 500 charts to go on there, the daily and the weekly every night. And of course, I give my opinion about the markets. And there's a few other little goodies in there. That pretty much covers most of it, though. It's Guy, $7.99. It's a really good deal. Hope everybody's having a great one. We'll talk to you all real soon again next time.